Double Skull for the DK. 7th Acolyte. It's looking like a fast expansion indeed. Scout Wisp checking things out.
Little
and I
late.
think Kaho has an idea already.
All right.
Or maybe he doesn't. Maybe he really doesn't.
Into the base. He can do quite some damage against Acolytes. Here we have 2 Acolytes by 1-0. Small adjustment. Is the young Night Elf already a bit overwhelmed, or was that the game plan all along? 1.4, we get a circlet. Ghouls hurt. Acolytes threatened.
Yeah, that's definitely not the game plan. This is not good enough. The Narrow Tower will finish soon and also denied one of the creeps with the Ancient of War. 1.3 only on the Demon. The DK is going to get a fast level 2. Gets to creep this for free. This is surprisingly easy early game for 1-0, and Kaho making a big scouting mistake.
But it is mining time. Acolytes starting to fall now. This will delay the expansion. You can see the gold difference already around 200. That is usually the cost of that second base. Plus an Acolyte that has to be rebuilt. Plus the Narrow Tower. This could give Kaho some time.
Yeah, but it's mainly the lumber that holds you back, so losing some gold here isn't that bad, because 4 ghouls were used early. Kaho, though, quickly counter-expanding. I think that's the right reaction. Keep the pressure up with the Demon, look for kills if you can, and get the counter-expansion rolling fast. And in the late game, once we're there, Demon Panda can still be really good, but make no mistake, this is a great start for 1-0.
Alright, it's of course kinda tricky to read him. Unlike Happy, he's not playing the all-out aggression all the time. He can go for expansions, he can go for a more creep-heavy game, could also go for tower pushes, so you always got a scout, and that scout was a little off, leading to this early game with a DK level 2, plus for a bigger camp he still has the skull in his inventory, and Demon Hunter not even halfway to mana burn.
Not very consequential damage here that Kaho is dealing, but it is about buying time. His expansion, of course, will be much later. Ooh, nice detonate. Beautiful from behind the trees. That's nice. Indeed. But yeah, the tech is faster. And with a fast tier 2, I would love to see a fast Panda and get those levels running as well.
Ooh, Panda on Twisted Meadows can get crazy levels. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, you know the combo. And against a fast Undead Army, Drunken Haze is never wrong either. Still needs to pull back at a certain point, needs to creep this expansion, and 1-0 will gladly accept this, work on his Acolyte count, and work on the tech and the levels.
Happy on this map. Loves playing Gargoyles. 1-0. Dude, I don't know when I saw 1-0 play Gargoyles the last time. When was that? I wouldn't necessarily expect them.
Yeah, he's sometimes a little stubborn in his army composition, that is for sure. No Banshees against human, for example, for years, not only now. So tech is started. 5 minutes 30. Expo for Kaho still needs a lot of time. 1-0 finds it.
Interesting choice to be attacking. Okay, that's more ghouls. I was about to say, 4 ghouls won't do anything here. 7 ghouls? That's a different story.
We also have 5 archers and immolation. This could potentially be a lot of damage to ghouls. 1-0 respects that. Would rather want to creep with them and preserve them for the ghoul frenzy push.
2 crypts coming. It's gonna be Gargs.
Wow.
Finally. 1-0 playing Gargs. That is a rare sight indeed.
If Kaho misreads this and goes for a Naga, this game is over.
Yeah. I don't think there's any reason to go Naga here, though. Even against Fiends, Panda's better. In this kind of game, because we're 2-base, armies will be big.
Okay, saved. Panda is incredible. Probably the best AoE. Demon Hunter close to getting surrounded there. Whoopsie. Could have probably fought out with Immolation. We start with Drunken Haze, which is a little odd because the Rock Golem is not getting affected by it, but with a chase for movement speed, it's still good. Also mischance against other creep camps, especially the Sharp Band. That is the nuts. Big mana potion on a Panda. Love to see it.
And now with Nature's Blessing finished, the tree gets over there at a decent pace. PK with one little steal. But the Death Knight also not very leveled. He got one green camp and the natural, and that's it. 2.5 only. Still not on level 3. Kaho's expansion soon to be ready. 1-0. When is his push going to be happening?
Good question, man. With Gargoyles, this is hard to read now. All the regular timings will not work. And Kaho needs, I guess, another base against this. He will be harassed, and lumber might be an issue, so a shredder would be nice to see. And in general, what's the army composition? Is it Dryad Bears, or is he switching into Hippos?
Yeah, whatever the case may be, he's going to have to rely on a strong Panda. He's 2.4 already. That's not too bad. And of course, on this map, we have a ton of creeps, and he should be able to get level 3 fairly easily. 1-0 could go for creeping if he wants, but Garg's normally not the best at creeping. You want to harass rather with them. And if you're not very used to playing Garg harass, it's a weird play style to go for. So I'm curious to see how he's going to pull it off.
Yeah. Both stay at 50, both getting rich, both getting to tier 3 and level. AP's coming, shops coming, staffs. So important, as well as the Drunken Haze Breath of Fire combo level 2. Attack upgrade number 2 for 1-0 as well. We play a little creeping game and both like these high levels.
Oh, first Garg goes down in the main base, out of position. I think we're seeing that 1-0 isn't super used to this Gargoyle playstyle already.
Double level 3, great creeping for Kaho. Dryads are at home. It feels like he almost expected this. He's playing well around the Garg harass, also around the timings, finding so much experience on the map.
I also like that he's not overreacting to the Gargs. He's not making like 3 APs or 2 in one the main, one the expansion. Normally you just need one in the expansion, and in the main base you can defend with reinforcements and a hero if needed, and staffs and stuff. And Kaho even looking for a creep deck. Look at that. Running across the entirety of the map. That's a beautiful timing. Right before on the tier 3 is finished.
Absolutely love it. He's getting slowed. There's so much crowd control. Ghouls are vanishing for 1-0. As good as this early game was with the free XP, as bad is this mid game. Sobi Mask, nice. Claws +8, nice. Especially the Lich will be stacked up. We have Frost Armor, by the way, which is kind of odd in this scenario.
Yeah, that's pretty weird. Against Dryads, of course, normally doesn't do too much. Late game edition now by Kaho, he's sitting at 50 supply. He's going for an Ancient of Wind. And the first attack upgrade as well.
You need more than one Ancient of Wind, my friend, if you want to go for Hippos. Coil Nova executing, and all of a sudden we have a lot of Gargoyles, but they're all burning. No heal scroll against it, and also no stone form. These guys are burning till the end of days, but the heroes can't connect for a follow-up.
Demon still definitely lacking that orb. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire. Oh my god, huge damage.
Now
this is stone form,
Lich,
but a bit too late. He just took the damage.
On the left-hand side, might just be getting wiped out. No boots on him though. In the middle, big fight. The next Breath of Fire, the potions, of course, a godsend. Both players are losing almost everything.
Oh, the Frost Armor almost saved him. Lich though goes down. Not quite denied. So many Dryads did go down. Kaho down to almost nothing. Lots of gold. Lumber is the issue. Never had that shredder.
Indeed. Laboratory also not opened up. Both have to lick their wounds. Demon Hunter far away from the rest of the army. 1500 gold wiped out on both sides. And now it's time to fix a mistake and go for heal scrolls.
Wonder can afford them easily. Double Sobi Mask.
Oh, wow.
Those do stack, as far as I know.
Yep.
And the region is going to be real nice.
And Remo, if you need to see proof of it, as always, just look at the mana ticks on this DK without statues. Ding, 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 ding. This is, of course, also more mana to burn for a Demon Hunter.
Kaho continues to creep. He finally got the Orb of Venom. Very important. Ideally, you want 2 of them. Big item here. What is it? Lots of great ones to find. Pendant of Mana would be the best by far, I would say.
Staff of Silence would be amazing because there's no spell. Spell Shield, never to be underestimated either. And Spell Shield it is.
Level 4 Demon now. Also nice. And Kaho powering up, getting stronger and stronger heroes. So lots of gold. 1-0 with the attack. 6-7 supply. It feels like 1-0 has to do big damage here, at least, because Kaho's hero is starting to get out of control.
It's very weird to see a Naga third. No Dreadlord, which is the usual pick against incoming hippos, but we haven't seen the hippos just yet, because the moment Kaho wanted to go for him with the Ancient of Wind, he had to replace all these Dryads. It is the big attack that we anticipated. One healed scroll only on 1-0. Is that enough? The Panda's got to carry. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, healed scroll, Stone Form immediately. Demon Hunter on the focus. Dash Shredder is in as well. Burns right before the coil. That was an amazing timing by Kaho. Drunken Haze, throw it, slow down the heroes. Doesn't respect it, rather goes for the Gargs, and once again they're all burning.
A lot of Dryads that go down there already, literally getting threatened. Boots would be a help here, but couldn't get them in time. Mana Potion again, looking for the perfect Breath of Fire. Garg's taking more damage. The Naga reaches level 2. She leveled up from enough kills, enough experience. Kaho still far down in supply.
Okay, he has a Mana Potion, is on cooldown. Stone Form Gargs have absurd amount of armor, so can't be dealt with here. 1-0. The supply lead is massive. Demon Hunter might be staffed out. Drunken Haze. Breath of Fire. He needs multi-kills now, but it's all going towards 1-0 level 5 on the DK. And of course, endless mana through the Sobies. The other heroes a little underwhelming though. By the way, another Sobi on the Panda. It's all pretty insane here.
4.5 on both Knight of Heroes. Now we have the double orb. That's a big deal. Kaho didn't rebuy a TP. He's moving out without the teleport score. He's got 1,000 gold this whole game. Lumber is the issue for him.
Yeah. The Shredder is not available anymore. Was sniped before. And 1-0 with the heal scrolls. Life-saving heal scrolls. He's ready for the next fight, I guess, with the anti-magic for the longest time. And with another build, with another Ancient of Lore upright? The hell is that?
Yeah, I think he's realizing that he doesn't have enough time for hippos. They're just gonna get picked apart one by one. So just make more Dryads, make them buy time for the heroes to do the damage. Demon Hunter, though, now it's him in trouble. Staff on cooldown. Demon is kind of exposed here.
Oh, careful.
But there's no mana.
Careful, Kaho. There is Fork Lightning. Another heal scroll there as well. You can choose your targets. And this Demon Hunter in trouble city. More focus, 1-0, pure brute force. But Kaho survives.
Very tense game. Still, the next Drunken Haze Breath of Fire could do huge damage. And remember, level 5s are not too far off. Kaho finally able to spend his bank, but still so much gold. Of course, more and more Dryads are dying. This also means the other heroes are getting stronger. It's about to be 3. Naga not too far away either.
Game on a knife's edge. This first map of the winner bracket final can go either way. Panda has a mana potion again. One more heal scroll on 1-2-0. No coils though. Breath of Fire, big, but not game breaking. Heal scroll again, constantly. Very good item management for 1-2-0. Is the 69 supply enough?
Playing around the cooldowns of the spells here.
DK?
DK. Oh, wait. DK getting caught.
Invo potion transferred. Nice execution. Needs to save this Panda somehow. Do we have a staff ready? Breath of Fire. Panda dies on close to level 5. And the return kill just isn't there. More Garg shots coming in. The Ring of Protection is a lifesaver. But how do you heal with just 160 Moon Juice available? Level 3 on both of the heroes. 1-0 inches away from map number 1.
Yeah, that was a huge lead there. Crucial hero kill. Kaho close to the double level 5. If he can... Oh, Panda. Back from the tavern. That's a bit dangerous.
Naga is right around
That's
the
a bit
corner.
scary.
Needs a frost arrow, but isn't there.
Ooh, it's daytime though. Daytime for a long while. Kaho may have to give up his first expansion. I think he might not be able to hold it anymore.
We
Also lacking upgrades, by the way. No Wellspring, no Ultra Vision.
Exactly. And this lower on the right-hand side. Oh no, on the main is not producing because of the lack of lumber. He's able to catch up in units, I guess, but he also needs mana potions. He needs this Panda Demon Hunter 5 somehow. So hard though.
Dwight's leading the charge. Oh, but they're going down so quick. That's more experience every time. And this tree now, he's gone.
And with that, the war of attrition can only be won by the undead. Demon Hunter, nuke. Heal scroll again. Oh no, staff out. But how do you do this now? Naga all of a sudden dead. That is level 5. Level 3 Breath of Fire to the rescue for Kaho. Stone form used, but not on all of it. The numbers game though. It's a pure numbers game here. And I guess there's Panda about to be executed. Here's the Nova. The coil is ready in a second, and the Panda dies for the second time. This must be game. Kaho sees it the same way and taps out. 1-0, 1-0.
Ooh, that was a close one. 1-0 brings it across the finish line, but this one could have gone either way. The big mistake by Kaho here was in the very early game. The Demon Hunter missed the scout, couldn't harass the expansion right away, ran instead to the undead main base where the damage he dealt was totally minimal and not worth the early game. And the lack of lumber later on cost him dearly. I don't know if he could really get rid of that lumber problem. He didn't creep a lamp, couldn't go for a shredder. His expansion timing was much later because 1-0 did it nicely with the 7 ghouls, slowing down the Tree of Life. That was a good play. Yeah, after that early game, 1-0 had the lead and never really gave it away.
True. It was close. If not for the Panda kill, could he reach level 5? Could he get the big Breath of Fire out? Lots of maybes, lots of possibilities. But in the end, 1-0, 1-0. But that seemed to be the odd one out. How often will we see Gargs in this series? I guess at max 3 times. Echo Isles is a possibility. And maybe the next map as well, because that is Concealed Hill.
And we have seen Concealed Hill be played with Gargs quite a bit on one base. You can get quite sneaky here. Try to hunt down archers early, take the fountains, have a big army on one base only, with DK solo even sometimes. But mostly, that seems like a strat that works rather on the lower levels. On the top level, I have yet to see that really look very impressive. Normally, the guys with lots of experience will know how to counter. And while Kaho is a young player, he is one of the most hardworking. He is on ladder a lot and has experienced pretty much all that there is to experience in terms of strategies.
For all the Kaho fans out there, don't lose hope because it's a 1-0 against Happy. He was down 0-2 and then reverse sweep from there on out. But of course, it would be a little easier for himself if he ties up this series and we go back and forth. Concealed Hill, here he absolutely demolished Happy. There was no doubt who the better player on that map was. There were adjustments made already by the undead. Let's see if 1-0 follows in those footsteps. You all should follow in the footsteps of Jomo303 because he's in for the 2-month resub. Thank you.
Yeah, this is going to be a very different map. Undead here definitely cannot fast expand. That would be suicidal. So this map normally is going to trigger and be forced to be a straight up normal game. One base, tier 3 rush, no nonsense, demon DK, and then may the better micro player win. And I think that's the game that Kaho wants to play. Straight down the middle, no weirdness, just rely on his exceptional micro. But 1-0 could throw a monkey wrench in there if he wants to. How about some tower pushes? How about a ghoul pull? Observer didn't see it, or didn't show it, but yeah, the ghoul pull was successful. The Ancient of War delayed for a long time. There we go. 1-0 makes the game weird right away.
Exactly. We didn't see it for the longest time, but here it is. Oh, yeah. We see this on ladder a lot. How do you recover from this? This, of course, is an investment. With the first ghoul gone, you need to go into a second necropolis. Kaho, maybe he's just harassing earlier. Plays Demon Hunter Immolation without any additional items. Could maybe go to the shop for a circlet. That might help out. Just like Buttcrumbs is helping us out. With 10 gifted subs. Much love.
Thing is also with this build, you have no lumber because the ghoul is running across the map, so you don't have a shop, which means no sacrificial skull, which means no early tower push. Doesn't mean you can't still go for it. In fact, the shop is coming up now, but you can see that DK is hopping out of the altar, and the shop is going to take a little bit longer. 1-0, first successful move, but that certainly doesn't let him win.
I like that psychologically. The first game, big back and forth. And it's of course uncomfortable for Kaho, being down 0-1. And just when you think, okay, I could recover on my first map pick, boom, there's a ghoul in your base. And the first thing you do, planting an Ancient of War, is already going south. And hello, kitty.
There's a cat in serious danger of danger, excuse me, of getting tossed right now.
Oh, yes. Living on the edge, just like our players here in the tournament. But yeah,
there's quite a few ghouls. Demon Hunter knows how dangerous that can be. Not skilling burn here, quite surprising to me.
Yeah, I guess you need to catch up in levels at some point. Here is immolation, here is some sort of burn. Living on the edge, gotta be careful to not be surrounded here. Trolls are helping a little bit.
What is the immolation doing here?
Bit of damage.
He's never gonna find a ghoul kill. There's coils.
But you could also not go to level 2 and you need immolation to keep up creeping, I guess.
Yeah, he could just be burning the DK. He could be burning all of his mana away.
Yeah, but then how do you creep afterwards?
Ancient of War.
Well, that worked well the first try.
Yeah, I don't know about this. But he's slowing down the DK at least. We are now teching. And I think the Nile of Tech is even ahead by a little bit.
Yep, that's the downside of using the ghoul pull. Archers here, this is all out aggression. Can Kaho get some last hits? Not this one. And that's level 2. And this is where things become problematic if you're facing Unholy Aura.
And the DK still with so much mana to use. Oh, what a pleasure it is to not have to play against mana burn. Oop, almost lost the one, but good save so far still all around.
Okay, a little bit of recovery here. Early graveyard. Pretty early graveyard. Helps with the lumber. Because of these archers here, of course you can't go for creeping at the same time. That is a bit problematic indeed. 0 XP on Kaho. And I don't think 1-0 will let him go.
Double circlet on the demon is very good. Even in the late game, this will be nice, but ideally you want to get out of this early game mostly unscathed. Losing a couple of archers is going to hurt. This one goes down. No saving that one. Oh, and guess what? First Skelly, the first bit of experience for Kaho.
Okay, here we go. New Skellies, new targets. Tier 2 is finished. So, is it a Naga this time? And what's it gonna be for 1-0? We haven't seen additional crits. So, there is a possibility for like 1 or 2 token Gargs. But that's about it. Instant Tier 3.
And the Naga second. Yup, there we go. I feel like we haven't seen her in quite some time. But there is no dust for the reveal. Somehow. Oops. But ghouls are also coming home. Man, this is not a very comfortable position for Kaho.
Counter Naga, trying to get intercepted. Usually when 2 Nagas meet, at least one falls. Kaho dribbling out of surround attempts, but he's close to the tree line. More and more frost arrows coming in. Always stays in range, and that is unavoidable now. 1-0 with a surround. Can the Demon Hunter reach? It's still slow. Nope. 1-0 with scary execution here.
Yeah, 1-0 playing this really well. Just a simple move, canceling the Ancient of War early, puts the knife in a difficult position. Demon Hunter is a good hero in the late game if he gets the levels, but he needs the levels. He's still only level 1. This is not ideal at all. And the immolation still not looking that good. He's finally gonna get a ghoul here at long last, but that doesn't help him level up.
That took 5 minutes to get the first kill. Town Portal is still available. Lots of mana can be invested here. And he dribbles out again. 1-0 values the life of ghouls for the upcoming tier 3 push, because all that you've seen so far was not that scary. The ghoul frenzy timing is around the corner.
Kaho knows it's about time to take some risks here. He needs to creep heavily now. He's going for the lab. Creep jack here could be painful. In fact, it's scouted by 1-0, who's playing a great series here, dude. Knows exactly what's happening at all times. What's the item? Scroll the beast. Oh my god, that's the worst one.
RNGs is not with Kaho. Red spot. Ooh, that's risky. But yeah, as you said, you need to take risks. But it's very easy to read.
The Skelly saw it again.
Yeah.
1-0 has the Skellies absolutely everywhere. DK could run over there, threaten the last hit. But he's gonna allow Kaho to get this one and finally reach level 2.
Don't get this stolen by a skeleton somehow. That would be an utter disaster. No, level 2.1. Unholy Aura. Okay, at least he's lucky here. But he needs better spells. He needs more army. Frenzy halfway through. 43 food. Lich coming. With the Naga second, of course, the tier 3 push is a tiny bit delayed. But Kaho, what do you got?
He's closing in on 45 supply. 2 more bears and he'll be at 50. Would love to get there. The good thing for him is he has the TP still, so he can go creeping heavily now out of the map and TP home once necessary. And if he has a bit more time, he will reach level 3. That would be incredible if after this early game he manages to get double level 3. But there's not much time left.
He's on the high ground. Bear master training around the corner. We're stacking up the demon once again with the circlet. Invest all the gold you got now. You will need it. Engine of War, not in position. Attacked immediately. Kaho can walk back, interfere, buy some more time. There's not even a shop yet.
Illusions trying to make things confusing.
Alright,
I'm trying to take out some ghoul kills. Some ghouls.
Roar.
Good roar.
Up. Orb up. And 1-0 respects this, pulling back a tiny little bit. Time for the Demon Hunter to burn and weaken this push.
Pretty good engage by Kaho. Good damage on the ghouls. One more goes down, and the next one is going to be level 3 for him.
Yep.
Good play here. The fast tier 3 working out for him quite well. Also the movement speed, really nice.
One bear getting killed. We still don't have a staff. This Demon Hunter gotta be careful. There is almost a coil. Burn is necessary. Dryads pick these ghouls apart. There we have it. All of a sudden also the Naga very close to level 3. Can't say the same about 1-2-0. And these fiends just hammered away by bears. And the hero focus isn't working. Kaho, crazy good hold.
Yeah, this is where it looks amazing. This is what Kaho has practiced for the last half year. This frenzy timing. Even if it was a weird early game, it was still a frenzy timing. And the defense was beautiful. Kaho, I would say, won this fight decisively. Demon, though, in trouble now. May need to TP. Both heroes in trouble. But only the Fiend falls.
Oh, can he somehow recover with Rejuve? Stay on top of 1-2-0. He's down in supply. His heroes aren't looking healthy at all. And you don't want to move these destroyers into range to get the dispel, and they're caught out, slowed down by Dryads, and eventually killed. Kaho is a micro god.
Double level 3 now for him. It's about to be nighttime. More bears are coming, maybe some more upgrades. He could start to think about talents as well. And I think with a successful hold, Kaho may have a bit of a lead. But don't sleep on 1-2-0. He has the tri-hero. He also has plenty of room to grow.
Same goes for Kaho. We haven't seen an Ancient of Wind yet. We first go for Dryad, the spell against Frost Armor, which will be the pick. Demon Hunter with a little bit more intelligence, passing that rogue to the Naga, and more experience. Evasion will be amazing, but so is this Creep Jack. We still have a town portal here. No Fork Lightning, prevented. Last hit goes to 1-2-0 on this Magi. Coil also on the Berserker, but what about this DK? That was the last coil burned by the Demon Hunter, who stands there in the front vanguard. If 1-2-0 loses this hero, it's all over. No TP. Invo potion might be passed, needs to be passed, and here it is. Love how the bears are constantly breaking through this front line and moving these fiends away. DK in the middle of it all, and you're not surviving that mosh pit.
Lich getting targeted next. There's Abolish Magic. Needs to use it. There we go. New Frost Armor though applied, but again dispelled. No aura to help the Lich or a coil. The Lich goes down, and so will the Fiend, and this game is over. GG, Kaho with a great comeback. Difficult early game, didn't go his way, but what a hold. Kaho, the master of holding these pushes, and honestly, out-microed 1-0 hard in that engagement.
Yeah. Yeah. That's his Invo potion right there. Ooh, boy, oh boy. I was worried for the series, man. After the early game, this didn't look too good. We had 8-minute double level 1. That is absurd for a Night Elf who is reliant on levels. But Kaho, he's just reliant on his micro and his execution, and he maneuvered himself into a position where he was able to hold. But maybe we have to question 1-0 a little bit. Should you allow these creep spots that easy?
Yeah, that is a worthy thought. Perhaps when both Night Elf heroes were just level 1, just be aggressive, just try to limit creeping by him. But the downside there is, the Knife at that point has 4 Dryads. You have like 5 ghouls, and 5 ghouls without Frenzy get annihilated by Dryads. So it's a difficult position. If you engage the Night Elf, you won't be able to win the fight, but maybe just fake an attack, prevent him from creeping, but maybe the Night Elf sniffs it out, maybe he's not going to fall for it. Like, normally in a position like this, the push should have had a decent success rate at perhaps not winning, but being successful in doing some meaningful damage. But what is there's execution there just wasn't really on the top level.
Okay, we have map 2. And map 2 is 1-0's pick, of course. It is Echo Owls. Way more towards the playstyle of a Twisted Meadows, expansions, easy, darks, playable. And Kaho, you need to scout what's going on, and you have to punish this harder than it was on Twisted.
Yeah, I think it's an easier map to play for Night Elf though than Twisted, because the Demon here can just really hit the ground running. Level up quickly, get level 2 and level 3 fast, pick up boots maybe, and counter expansion into Expo setup is pretty straightforward and easy on this map. On Twisted Meadows, things get way more complicated. You can get interfered with way more. I think this map should favor Kaho more if we do go for the fast expansion, but will we? With Kaho going for the Merc Camp and being greedy that way, 1-0, we've seen it before, may just go for a tower push.
1-0 eliminated Colorful from this map in 3 minutes 20 seconds with exactly this setup. Ancient
Wisp block. Wisp block against the Acolyte, wants to prevent the Shadow Priest steal, and was successful. Acolyte goes down, Shadow Priest goes to Kaho, he kept the supply open. Perfect response so far by Kaho.
Fantastic. Is that still time for a tower push? We sell the TP, we get a skull and a rod. That's usually an indicator for something else. Also, the creep route that we're seeing towards the south, that is a second base coming up. Did Kaho save the Wisp, by the way?
He did. Very, very well done so far by Kaho, but he's taking a lot of damage on the demon. That is the downside. Periapt, great late game item. Early game, it's okay for Moonwell healing. But I think because he got the Shadow Priest, he just prevented a tower push. I think if 1-0 gets that Shadow Priest, I think he will go for the tower push and make things very hard for Kaho. But now here instead, it is the natural creep, which will be almost level 2 for the DK, but not quite.
Periapt of Vitality, not bad. In the early mana management department, we can drop it, sip from the Moonwells. It's way more efficient than without the Periapt. 1-0 still waiting for a little bit of lumber. Scouts moving out, and of course DK Ghouls moving out.
Oh yeah, the DK actually got the level 2 already, so he must have gotten a Wisp kill as well, which is a small mistake by Kaho. Unfortunately on this map, this has a big ripple effect, because it means that now we have the aura, and that makes the undead a lot more potent. 1-0 is looking for a possible counter expansion early, but that has not yet been started. Oh, Berserker. Important pick.
Going to Kaho again with the Wisp on the side. Engine of War also saved. Stable game by Kaho, who's now going for the counter expansion. And the ghouls have to retreat. There are still some targets, but doesn't want to expose them too much. Also needs some lumber. And Kaho willing to take this one, even with 1-0 right around the corner. Undershooting a little with the coil, gets the last with ghouls though.
1-0 needs to keep scouting for the Tree of Life. Needs to bring more ghouls in. We've seen that by Happy before. A heavy commitment and willingness to involve ghouls early in canceling the Tree of Life. But I don't think he's doing it. I think he's trying to slow down the Demon Hunter creeping and let the tree finish behind. And I think that's the first serious error here in this play.
Well, there are ghouls, I guess, in the north. Could just be some skeletons. Exceptional ghoul micro again, saving all of them. There is some damage in the north. Really not sure what that is, because we got skeletons here in the south as well. Even denied, and Ghoul Whisper as it is.
That's not doing much, though. Wisp can just be pulled back, can be pulled south if necessary. That's a lot of wasted potential. These ghouls could be used way better. These ghouls could have cancelled the Tree of Life, but now it's too late. And now this Tree of Life will be a decent time. Of course, the Undead expansion is much, much faster. Oh, but another big concern here is the Knight of Tech is quite slow, actually. Normally, we expect a much faster tier 2 for the Elf, but here, it is almost on par.
Okay. Let's see how we play around this. Moon Juice was saved basically throughout the entire game. Kaho, exceptional with the Wisp juggle. So that's one of the reasons, of course, why the Ghoul pressure didn't work in the base. 3.2 claws and ultra tanky Demon Hunter. He is the one hunting now.
Yep. He's gonna be the bully on the playground for quite some time. At least until the statues are out, there's gonna be nothing really that can deal with the demon.
Oh,
so thinking about it though, I don't think that works.
Well, we'll see about that. Ooh, gets out, doing lots of damage. 3,600 already. Inventory of the DK is quite nice. Will be great gifts for Naga or Lich, whatever he's going for.
Good thing for Kaho this time is he may have teched later, but he had lots of wisps. Look at the lumber count. Around 450 already. This really held him back earlier when he couldn't go for proper Dryad numbers, proper Dryad upgrades. Especially this time around, it should be looking a bit better.
Yeah, of course, it's a whole different... Oh, it's not a whole different game. We see triple crypt once again. Hope Kaho saw this. He was in the middle of the base with the Demon Hunter. And wonder if he saw 2 or 3 crypts.
And the good thing is the response is the same. Just get the expansion up, creep the panda, and make dryads. And then scout again, and maybe you'll need bears, maybe you won't. Against Gargs, of course you won't. And the panda will now join. There we go. Tier 2 done. And the Lich still will be a bit later, of course, coming from the altar.
Exactly, but the Gargs are coming, and they are faster than Dryads, because the crypt is already there, and the lore still needs to be built. That is a little bit of an advantage, but Kaho creeping carefully. Nobody is taking any big risks for creeping. They contest each other, they slow each other down, but the middle's still up for grabs.
DK very, very slowly getting towards that level 3. Nice positioning on the Ancient of War. Gonna enable level 2 here for the panda. And very importantly, should also pick up the heal scroll and potion, of course, in Muln.
Okay, Drunken Haze online. Telestaffs would be amazing to defend the harassing Gargs, to get some upgrades. 120 is aware. Oh.
Doesn't have the wisps in the mine yet. Kaho.
Working on some lumber first is what this is about. You know, there's no shredder. Need some extra lumber wisps.
Not really. He's still missing. Alright, dealing with the Garg threat. Oh my god, he's not gonna realize. Alright, he's making more. Later. He's missing out on some gold here, but there should still be for mining in the end.
And he's saving some gold for later, as it's kinda likely that we mine out Echo Owls, at least the main base. And these resources look very even for Kaho now, still at 50, creeping both shop and marketplace.
Sold the item though. But the panda got level 3, of course, that's the big level up. Would love to see some upgrades. I think earlier was way too low on Dryad upgrades. Ideally, want to get 1-2 upgrades on the Dryads really fast. But again, Kaho there looking a bit slow. Jumping into upkeep though quickly.
DK getting bullet. Triple claw on the Lich. Are you kidding me? This is incredible versus Dryads. Wonder if Kaho is making a transition to Hippos anytime soon. So far, not really. Letting the Dryad Poison do the job. Keep the Wisps up at all times and continue creeping. Dude, Kaho got 3 out of 3 spots in the middle. That's insane.
Yeah, very nicely done here also with the Wands of Illusion. Also getting the double heal scroll. That's so big. Well, but then again, I guess the Undeads can buy them from their own shop. And 1-0 has. Double heal scroll now on the DK. 54 supply for him. But I don't think 1-0 is really perfectly fight ready. Kaho is looking in a fine position here. But where are the upgrades? Where are the upgrades?
Well, first the Dryad, the spell upgrade. He is floating quite some resources. Wonder what this is for. Very different style compared to a Lawlight, for example, who goes heavy on the Hippos. Most Night Elves would go heavy on Hippos, I guess. And now 1-0 also with his very unique style of playing Gargs, adding the Naga again.
Cool thing is, there's 2 Moonwells already up at the expansion, which can help here when it comes to the push, which is going to be now. 1-0 has a slight supply lead, but it doesn't make that much of a difference. But Kaho, oh, he's not going to TP, he's going to walk down there, so these Moonwells might be going down fast.
Wisps also crazy fast attack, no burns just yet. And that's a little needle hole. Weird to engage into, but maybe he can force him back. Staff used already. What can the Panda do? Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, not hitting too much. Great stone form, actually. The ghouls are affected by it. Demon Hunter, Staff is not ready, needs these heal scrolls to stay alive. Lots and lots of misses. Burn again, DH. Town portal out. Floodgates open now for the base attack.
Smart play though by Kaho. He didn't use the TP to go down there because he knew he needed it for a save, and now the mana on the Undead is gone. And what is it played without Slaughterhouse? He doesn't have statues. Once Kaho gets back south again, he should be in a good position to defend. How much is he going to lose until then?
Rebuilding Moonwells already. Is Kaho not supply blocked at all? Still, good army of mercs. They will fall quickly. Panda, Demon Hunter, both level 4, by the way. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, rattling through. Dryad safe to the side. Heal scroll by 1-0. Pretty crazy, but that was his last consumable. Almost surrounding himself there with the stone form. Fixes that. Staff is off cooldown. Got a potion as well. Solid fight right there. DK level 4 though.
Supply lead still on the Undead side, but might turn around. Naga in trouble now. One Breath of Fire perhaps her end. But there's no mana on the Panda anymore, and the Dryad's getting absolutely eviscerated still by the Gargs. Still have no upgrades on these Dryads. Dryad production also halted for a moment. Panda in trouble. Staffed out, healing once more from the Moonwell. The juice is barely there to heal up again.
What a neck and neck fight. Both losing a lot. The heroes might carry Kaho, but he's only level 4. 1-0, close to big upgrades. Level 2 Nova around the corner. Fork Lightning around the corner. And even more important, map control. Heal scrolls. There was 2 heal scrolls in the past one. Now zilch. Double orb instead. Drunken Haze. And that's the Breath of Fire. Can he follow up with some kills? No, the heal scroll is there faster.
That was the only heal scroll though. Panda has an orb now and also more mana. The Gargs might be taken out next. Oh, but the Demon Hunter also in trouble. Can he be stabbed? Can he be saved?
Panda right there, but being attacked. Not much mana anymore to slow him down, but there is one Frost Armor arrow. Frostmourne hungers, but the Moonwell prevents the dinner.
Oh my god, and the follow-up staff. Oh, dude, that Moonwell. That Moonwell. Are you serious? More potions. Lot of hero focus. Kaho losing a lot. Can the heroes do it for him?
He's down the dumpster in supply. The Demon Hunter has to carry. These Dryads are not cutting it at all. 1-0 making smart adjustments. Not going into the regular style. But the Gargs are too much for Kaho as it seems. Panda has a mana potion, Ring of Regen, both helpful. Oh, Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, again, stone form, used constantly. What can Kaho do? What's left?
And And the Garg numbers might just be overwhelming now. It's a huge, huge supply lead. The problem is the Knight of Heroes can't fully heal here, as it seems. Dragon with a fire. Big damage now.
Panda on the verge of dying. He has a mana potion, but nothing to heal. Dryad's coming in. No nuke. Moonwolf's empty. And it's nighttime. Okay, so a little sip. Breath of Fire to try to scare someone away. But one of these heroes might be falling. And maybe Kaho falls entirely on map 3.
It's gonna be daytime soon. Kaho must clean up this push until daytime. Because if the state continues, this won't be enough. 1-0 though, falling back to the shop, needs the heal scroll badly. May want to go to his own shop for more scrolls.
More important to take it away from Kaho. He can't really afford it with mass Garg production. 16 gargoyles! And the heal scroll now when everything is saved. Excellent gargoyle play! Couple of
And
them.
exposed.
Yep. It's not looking good at all. Critical mass. And yeah, now we have the first armor upgrade. But too little, too late. One2zero is pushing Kaho out of his comfort zone. This is clearly not the style he prefers. The panda damage is absurd with 12k already. By far the biggest damage dealer in this game. But it's just not enough because there's always heal scrolls.
Yes. Too many Gargs. Now it's enough to crack the expansion. The second base falls. And 1-0 finds himself with a huge advantage. This Naga, by the way, is working out perfectly. Knowing that the heroes will be the difference maker in the end. Able to control the demon. Kaho with the GG. I thought he almost had the hold here. But 1-0 barely able to break through. This almost didn't work. I think you can see it in his face. Realizing, oh boy, that was just barely enough. But enough it was.
Enough it was indeed, but that was probably the last map where you can play this style. And in regular fights, Kaho was far ahead there on Concealed Hill. So I think Kaho doesn't have to worry too much. Yes, he's down. 1-0 is one step away from the grand final if he wins just one more map. But the situation of Kaho versus Happy was even worse. He was down 0-2 and the remaining maps might favor him. Northern Isles is next. Wonder Boy still with chances, but 1-0 playing one of the best series of his tournament, I would say, and maneuvering himself into a great position.
Yeah, absolutely. And Northern Isles is definitely not a normal gargoyle map. This is a map where we saw quite a few tower pushes in the past. We have seen none of those yet. I wonder what this one's going to be looking like. I think we know what Kaho wants to play. He wants to play one base, creep up his demon, go towards 50, and then take an honorable micro fight. And 1-0 probably wants to do everything but that.
High stakes. What's the solution on Northern Isles? Is there a way to play 2-base Gargs on Northern Isles? It's not very inviting. It's very punishable. But it's also not unheard of.
Yeah, if the Night Elf doesn't scout properly and is not in a position to punish, you can expand here. Absolutely. But if the demon is in position with Wisp for the detonate, it's going to be a disaster. So Kaho must scout properly. This was the biggest problem on the first map. This is what, in my opinion, cost him the first map. The fact that he didn't figure out quickly enough where the expansion was happening and at what time. So Wisps are going to be crucial once more.
1-0's map pick goes to 1-0. Match points now. We all expected him in the grand final, winning 3 consecutive qualifiers. But Kaho, still all the chances in the world if he plays his A game. Good thing for him. There's little room to scout here. But was that doubt in his face there at the beginning of the game? In general, the early games, not really his. Yes, on the last map, he got the Shadow Priest. It was better than Concealed and Twisted. But still, with a couple of losses and still with time bought. It's up to 1-0 to close this out right here, right now.
Demon Hunter and DK it is.
Surprise, surprise.
Wait.
Wait.
5 acolytes only? Normally you make the 6th acolyte before you make the shop, so this is a bit unusual. That looks like an expansion then, maybe.
Perfection. Thank you for the 17-month resub. Hi! Thank you very much. Creeping starts, and yeah, why not try to bring that Expo guard game to maps where it's unseen? It worked well on Twisted and on Echo. Do it again.
Double skull. 4 ghouls. Yep. This is expansion. Demon Hunter is coming.
This
Oil
could
on cooldown. Wisps looking for the perfect detonate.
This could be a very, very rough early game for 120. Kaho identifies this quickly. Huge opening. What do we got? Immolation again. Trying to punish the DK, who is so far down already. Ring +5. Actually quite a bit helpful now. But the Acolyte, he can't wear a ring. And is getting burned by Immolation. Expo at least delayed.
Great start by Kaho. He's got the Wisp in position. Perfect detonate. And the Demon Hunter timing is there. Unfortunately, he denied one of the creeps. But we shall forgive that. With a good harass, that was certainly still worth it. And he started the tier 2 tech. 120 now. He could brute force this expansion. It is possible. But he won't be doing it. Starts the tech instead. And that is, perhaps for the first time, a very good early game for the Night Elf.
And it feels like Kaho just expected this. Hey, okay, your Gargs did work. You will try to do it again, and if you have to, there's only one option to play this, and that is with this expansion here. Nicely identifying this, not only in the micro department, he also got it in the head.
Nice follow-up scout here as well. Kaho all over 120 right here. Detonate, almost level 2. Demon is here. And the DK still needs a bit more for that level 2.
Just don't overpace. Don't get surrounded. Well, maybe even surrounded, he would survive. Ghoul pressure is fine, but always doing damage. 1.8, similar levels. Incredible early game for Kaho.
I think Kaho could just counter expand right now. In the north, proxy counter expansion. That would have a good timing, I think.
Yeah, that DK is not doing anything. Level 2 now. Mana burn unlocked. Detonate again. Just wonderful. Just wonderful play.
I think a zero cancel here would be big, but I don't think quite has the time or damage. But great Demon Hunter control. This is something we've seen from Kaho for a long time. Kaho hasn't lost a single unit yet, by the way.
Yep. There might be a couple of right clicks towards the Archer now, but if he does, the Demon Hunter, the DK exposes himself getting hit more by the War Glaze of Azeroth, and yeah, I mean, tower up, but everything is hurt. Everything's
Kills
hurt.
the Acolyte. Nice.
Wow, incredible.
And the ghoul goes down. Damn! Kaho, sick play on map 4.
The Archer is still not dead. Now gets it. That took forever for level 2. Healing cancelled. And now it might just be a TP. Or is he walking this off with 45 XP? DK right click. Might not be enough. No, and he moves away. Can save the TP for later.
But now we have the Naga second follow-up attack. More ghouls in trouble. Counter expansion, by the way, is coming. And 120 still doesn't have his own expansion set up.
Nice how they counter each other. Nice how well they know each other. Hunter's Hall, as you said, is there. Expo growing. So how do you play this? Tier 2 expansion? Oh, I love the Archer Scout. Oh, I love these Archer Scouts.
Oh, Archer's here, a bit out of position. Might be getting caught. Could be the first real opening for 120 to get something done. But the Demon Hunter's back as well. And he's got more burns to use. Oh, but the Naga, there she does get trapped.
Oh, it's kind of close-ish with Simulation Town Portal swap. wants to keep the tempo up. And of course, there's no TP. Portal? Portal? Moved it back. That was odd. Okay, then.
Trying to get the cancel. He could get it with the archer. Would have to TP though.
Oh. Nova. Focus fire. DK. If the archer wakes up and blocks, maybe there is a chance. It's 1-0 coming back into this game. Is Kaho starting to make mistakes?
Yeah, the game's certainly far from over. The expansion will be finishing, but this time Kaho is way closer in expansion timing. But he has no panda.
Yep. That's a problem.
I think he has to go. Does he have to go hippos now? Maybe.
It's definitely problematic. On big maps, you can add the panda third to at least get Drunken Haze. But it's tough. It's real tough. So 1-0. He doesn't have the expo up for a long time. It's not that he's rich. He doesn't have the infrastructure for mass Gargs with triple crypt either. I don't know, dude.
Kaho has full map control right now. He knows how strong he is out on the map with his two heroes, so he can probably steal both items pretty easily in the middle. If he pulls out the camps, which he's doing right now. Tier 3 lead, also on the Night Elf. 1-0 is going Tier 3 himself. And we don't have any additional crypts yet.
Exactly. That's a problem if you want to go for mass Gargs. Demon Hunter still be masked, preserving some mana during immolation. Everything with mana regen helps the Night Elf for... Never mind, he sold it. Okay, it's fine. I understand. You need the gold on the verge of Tier 3 without the expo running. Invo potion for 1-0. No gold available after purchasing that heal scroll.
Seeing the Naga normally should be an instant tip-off. Gargs are so good. Like, we saw already how good they can be in 2-base.
Yep.
But if there's no panda, they can oftentimes be unbeatable. Why is 1-0 not going Gargs? I really don't understand it. He must have a reason.
Again, 3 wisps in the mine only. Little problematic. Big mana potion again. Helps against... But do we even have enough ghouls for a push? Yes, we do. Yeah, this is kind of an invite to a Garg play. We've seen it work on 1 or 2 crypts, even on 1 base at times, even on lower levels. It's making things a little difficult.
Yeah, going Fiends here is real weird. It's real weird. Not only is the Naga way better against Fiends, also the Bears, of course, are way better against Fiends.
Yep.
Questionable choice by 1-0.
Maybe a comfort pick. He probably knows more than we do. 1-0 breaks up. Kaho breaks upkeep. Maybe it's just a fan of game 5, you know?
We certainly are.
Demon Hunter no boots, by the way. Again, as Kaho always plays. Or more often than not. Love the dispels. Always there. So much mana drained. Fork Lightning invested. Fiend down. That's a huge chunk of damage against these Dryads.
Ring of Regen on the Demon was also real nice. And now also Rejuve will come into effect. There's still a window for 1-0 to perhaps look for something strong, if not deadly, before the mass talons are out. But looking at the supply count, it doesn't seem like 1-0 is in a position to go for a big attack within the next 2 minutes or so. Kaho is looking better and better here.
And now we get Engines of Wind. Double Engine of Winds, actually. Could be Hippos or Talons.
This is the perfect late game for the Night Elf. Lots of bears, lots of talons, and just a few dryads for slow. Well, ideally I would like to have a panda, but also the Naga can be nice. And the closer we get to 80 supply, the better it is for the Night Elf. Unless there's Gargs, which of course there isn't.
We see Abominations, and the good thing about Talons is, compared to Hippos, they are super useful in other fights as well. Fairy Fire, always great. and Cyclone, absolutely amazing. Even their damage type is matching. So yeah, if Kaho buys a little more time, then 120 is in trouble. But Kaho isn't fully online yet. The talent tech isn't there, isn't online. And at the moment, there's a 10 supply lead for the Undead, who is one step away from the grand final.
Yeah. All of a sudden, all the gold was used and the supply went up high in count. And the Demon Hunter in the front line, low mana as well, doesn't have that many burns. Still a difficult fight for Kaho.
And he has no TP. Only a heal scroll. No invo potion either. Dryad's getting caught. Oh, 120. Can you just close it out? Destroyer far forward though. Coil there for the rescue. Ghouls are getting demolished. Lots of focus fire on them. No web, of course, on the Fiends. Bear falls. And is that the necessary damage? Not yet. But double wins can produce a lot of talents very, very quickly. For Kaho, it's not about smashing this fight. It's just about holding, surviving, and fight another day with a full army. Demon Hunter on the chase. Staff is on cooldown. Kaho, heal scroll saves him for now. Fork lightning as well. The A-bomb will fall and he's making it to the shop. Level 4, so important. And now crows are falling but should be rebuilt shortly. 600 gold. Heal scroll, invo potion. Kaho surviving.
Naga in trouble though. She might be going down. What about the Lich? There's an invo potion for him, but the Naga getting chased. Should be falling.
So close. That would be the staff out. DK, of course, out of position as well. Frostborn Hunger's level 3. Uh-oh. Kaho down in supply now, but the crow numbers are rising. We don't see any web upgrades yet. Has to Yuka. Demon Hunter surrounded. Invo potion saving it for only 7 seconds. More fiends are falling. Gotta retreat. Somehow holds on to the heal scroll. Crows chasing these destroyers. Oh no, they're not chasing actually. Few micro mistakes and 120 pauses the game all of a sudden.
Kaho had a great execution there, as often, but he was forgetting about macro for a long time. He had like 500 gold plus, he was producing talents, but wasn't producing bears that whole time. That's the one thing that Kaho perhaps still has to work on in the 2-base economy. With lots of gold, the macro sometimes slips, and he was lacking some units there. Now he's also lacking a hero with the Naga benched. Kaho staring down the barrel for the lower bracket. 120, close to making the grand final.
Can he keep up the pressure? Is it enough? He's pushing forward towards the tree. There is no nature's blessing. Kaho needs more. Now, 70 seconds on the Naga. What are the crows doing? Just chilling there. Kaho loses focus. There we go. He needs every single unit in this defense as it's Demon Hunter only. With a potion, okay. But that's about it. Apart from that, not much to be working with. Crows set up a little flank to... There's no TP. 5 crows. Where are the distros? Are they not part of this fight?
He has only one. He knows if he brings in the disaster throws, I think they're just gonna die too easily. Demon Hunter rejoins the fight. Dangerous proposition. Kaho needs the Naga back really badly, but maybe he bought the time.
Can he attack these statues maybe with the crows? There's no Nova. Bear's coming. Maybe he's forgetting about disabling crows. That would be a good help. 56 food. Naga, 15 seconds. Kaho made this important move of repairing the tree. Buying time. Setting up the flank. Naga in 5.
And the A-bomb's gonna be very hard to deal with. 2 out already. 2 more coming. Not that much damage. Ready against them. The Demon Hunter does have the Orb of Venom, but he's hurt. He's always hurt.
Talents. No issue here. Dead supply nuke!
Oh my god.
Staff as the Naga arrives, but he's basically fighting without the heroes. Move the crows to the ground. Do something with them. Bears falling. Fiends getting saved again as the Demon Hunter is still hurt. Maybe waiting for potions here at 50. This Night Elf expansion is under serious undead threat.
Kaho needs to fight with both heroes here healthy. He wasn't able to do that for the longest time. Now finally the Demon Hunter isn't fighting Shape the Bears. Is that the same for him? Questionable. Supply lead on the undead side. Clearly.
Massive supply lead. Demon Hunter carry, but without a potion, what can you do? It's looking hopeless. Roar reapply, but it doesn't really matter, does it? We see, oh my god, these crows hurt me so bad. Behind the Naga, they would do serious damage to these abominations. They could even be a solution to these abominations. But at the moment, These abominations are the solution. Demon Hunter under fire. Staff is there. This is 12 supply. Useless.
Absolutely correct. Of course, up in the air at the moment, they're dead supply, doing nothing as there's no destroyers anymore. The A-bomb switch, absolutely brilliant. And Kaho losing that Naga, that was the big painful loss. If he had saved her, maybe a better transition could have been possible. Maybe some master talents even. But now the expansion is gone, and without the expansion, what can you do still?
I don't know, dude. This Demon Hunter needs to be level 6 for it to do something. A black spot on the genius brain of Kaho. Applying Fairy Fire, alright, but he doesn't need Web for that. Naga Chase, Riju coming in finally. As of course there's no destroyers, but is the living armor enough? No, has the staff out again. Could just nuke the Naga, but it's not time anymore. GG, the biggest tournament of the summer, and 1-0 is in the grand final.
After a slow start, after 1-0 not looking that good in the group stages and being challenged and making some mistakes, he still prevails in the end. He's trying to say to all the fans, you never should have doubted me, after he won 3 monthlies in a row. He is in the grand final again, our first finalist and one of only 4 players remaining in the tournament.
Exactly. We got 1-0 waiting for his opponent. Happy, colorful Kaho in the lower bracket. Is it a rematch of the grand final with Happy versus 1-0? It would be a lower bracket run for the ages from round 1 into the grand final. That's some hard work. Colorful threatened 1-0 big time with a 2-3. And Kaho, of course, has beaten Happy before in the same matchup. We could, of course, also get a Night Elf Mirror for the grand final. What a day of Warcraft. We are halfway done with our streaming as ESL Meisterschaft is coming up in exactly 2 hours with X-Lord, Leon, Todd, and Kevin fighting for the German championship. But TPL is over for today. The humans and the orcs are out. Happy, colorful Kaho lower bracket 1-0 where he belongs with his strongest performance of the tournament in the grand final.